What's up again, guys? Brian here at 3TR and welcome to episode 196 of my weekly Q&A show titled People's Questions. This time rather we got a pretty standard list of questions, mostly game and comic book related, so that's a good sign. So jumping right into the first two questions coming from Mark Main. You want to know, where would I like Grand Theft Auto 6 to take place and who should be the main character? Well, in terms of location, I personally would like it to be in a place overseas. I think all the Grand Theft Autos, for the most part, kind of take place in an alternate United States, so it'd be kind of interesting to play in a location outside the United States, because we do know for a fact that there are plenty of characters that come from other countries to the United States, so it'd be nice to kind of switch that around. And in terms of the main character, it doesn't really matter who the main character is. Just make them interesting and unique. I thought they did a really good job with Grand Theft Auto 5 having 3 main characters, so they could do something like that again. And your next question is, how fast is Bartholomew, or I can never say that name, from The Flash? Obviously he's a speedster, so I'm pretty sure he's pretty fast, I would say. I mean, they're not really consistent in the show of explaining exactly how fast anyone can run. Sometimes Barry Allen can run like a lot faster than normal, sometimes he can't run so fast. I mean, there's a constant chain where he's saying, I'm not fast enough to catch this guy, and then eventually he is fast enough to catch the person. So it's all over the place. Next 2 questions come from Philip the Darkness March, and you want to know, would I rather have Iron Man's armor or the superpowers of the Flash? Oh, definitely the Flash. Simply because they're much more natural. I don't like powers that are kind of man-made. I mean, Tony Stark's power is money. And even if I had Iron Man's suit, if it breaks, I don't have the money to fix it. So, but with the Flash, I never have to worry about that. My powers are natural, so my powers are limited to pretty much my imagination. Next question is, to me, what is the most powerful game weapon? I mean, if I had to pick a favorite, I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe the Blades of Chaos, simply because they can kill just about anything. They're magic based, they can be used as close or long range weapons. That's something that not a lot of weapons can do. Like, most swords have limited range, those can extend long distances. They can be upgraded, they can burn through bodies, they can easily work on magical creatures and dead people, so I guess I would stick with the Blades of Chaos. And the last question is, who do I think would win it in a fight between Cybermen versus the Borg? Well, the Borg can assimilate any organics, but the Cybermen can multiply pretty fast. I think the Cybermen have the advantage simply because I don't think the Borg can assimilate Cybermen. And Borg cannot replicate themselves unless they attach themselves to an organic being. So I think the Cybermen have the advantage because they are definitely much more machine than organic like the Borg are. The next question comes from Nick the Ninja, and you want to know, what is my opinion on E3? E3 was fine. Saw a lot of games I'm real interested in playing for the next year. I wish I'd went. I've been to an E3. I'm still trying to get my way back. Right now, still trying to, get my popularity with the channel up, so maybe someone will recognize me and want to hire me for like a gaming job. But that's where I stand right now. So as far as E3, E3 is always good to see. The next question comes from a newbie, I believe. Welcome to the show, and you want to know, your name is FBomb108, and you want to know, in what ways do I think the Twin Snakes improved on the original Metal Gear Solid, and vice versa? I think it improved, obviously, visuals, which I very much appreciated. I liked its cinematic style, and it's not to say that the original Metal Gear Solid wasn't cinematic, but Twin Snakes was definitely much more flashier, much more movie-line, which is something I appreciated because it allowed us to see Solid Snake and other characters do things that it would have been a little bit hard to do on the PlayStation 1 graphics. I like how it had the first-person shooter view for Twin Snakes, which was not in the original, and they took that strictly, pretty much what I think makes it a little bit better is that it took a lot of the elements from Metal Gear Solid 2 and applied it to Metal Gear Solid 1 in terms of its gameplay and how things operate, and I think that made it a little bit better. I only wish they had re-released it for like another console other than GameCube, because I didn't get a chance to play it, but I did notice those changes, and therefore I know for a fact I probably would have enjoyed playing Twin Snakes a little bit more than the original Metal Gear Solid, even though I still think the original Metal Gear Solid game is still a phenomenal game. The next set of questions come from Santiago Scarpino, hope I said that right, and you want to know, what is the best and worst Kingdom Hearts Keyblade? Well, I guess the worst one I can think of is probably the flower one that Kairi gets. I don't know, I don't like a Keyblade that looks like a flower. In terms of the best Keyblade, well, obviously you'd have to go with the Ultima Keyblade, because in all the Kingdom Hearts games, the ultimate weapon is like the hardest one to make, so obviously that's the best. Next question is, who would win in a fight between Dante and Kratos? Dante or Kratos? That's a tough one. See, Dante's got plenty of weapons, but so does Kratos. Kratos can't technically die because he can climb his way out of hell, but he can't really transform. But he does have. I'm gonna go on a win. That would make a good versus series matchup. I know I've seen someone do that one, but the way they explained their outcome, I didn't necessarily agree. So I'm just gonna go on a limb and say probably Kratos, because he is. He has everything Dante can do, but he's far more aggressive. I think Dante's a little bit cooled back, and he doesn't get angry easier, and I think that he will have a certain difficult time with that level of aggression and dominating power, and it's the type of power that's not erratic. Kratos knows what he is doing, and he knows how to concentrate this aggression, and I just don't think that's something Dante can handle for a long period of time, so I think that Kratos would win, but it'd be a pretty close fight. Your next question is, do I think Sora would really win against Roxas? Well, I guess, since Sora beat Roxas in Kingdom Hearts 2, but that's questionable because Roxas is technically Sora's nobody, so he would pretty much have Sora's skill set, so Sora is technically the original, Roxas is kind of a different version of Sora, so I guess Sora being the original, that might give him a slight skill advantage, in my opinion. The next questions come from Thynaping Sniper, and you want to know, and this is a long one, how do I feel if Lucas/Disney made a Star Wars game about a squad of stormtroopers tasked with keeping the people of the Empire from rioting and joining the Rebel Alliance? The story would take place during the fall of the Empire and the rise of the First Order. Well, then you're kind of playing as the bad guy. I mean, that sounds like a solid idea. I mean, that sounds somewhat on par of something like Republic Commandos, which had you play as an elite squad of clones, and you pretty much were going on these Black Ops missions for the Republic during the Clone Wars. The question is like, how exactly are you stopping the people from rioting? Because if you're a squad of stormtroopers, your job is to maintain the Empire. I mean, if someone wants to riot and join the rebellion, then you would just go after them naturally. So I'm not sure if a game like that would really work, playing as the bad guys going around killing the good guys. I mean, I'm not sure that would sell well. And you want to know, do I think GameStop will collapse as a company in the next 5 years or longer? I'm curious to see what I think. No. GameStop's not going anywhere, because in terms of strict game stores, that really is the top selling store. I mean, I'm not sure if EB Games is around, but I thought that was like a branch of GameStop. You don't have Game Crazy. You know, we don't have Blockbuster, which surprisingly, some of you that remember, they actually did sell games. I don't think the standard retailers have enough focus of games. I mean, they have their own sections, like a Target or a Best Buy or a Walmart. But if you're looking for a place that has the most focused selection of games, there really is no other place than GameStop, aside from a couple of independent stores which all sell games, which those ones can do well if they're the only game store in their area, but as soon as a GameStop shows up, there's just something about GameStop that says this store is strictly for games, and we have more than just games. We sell consoles, we sell accessories, we sell all this stuff. I mean, it really is the only real place for gamers, despite the fact that it's kind of venturing into mobile games, which that's a topic for its own discussion. Your next set of questions come from Henry Rashish, and you want to know, what are my thoughts on Star Wars Battlefront 2015? Well, obviously, I protested it. I got a copy of it. I sent it away to someone who probably will enjoy it more than I did. I didn't play it. From what I saw, it wasn't a full game. The problem with gaming today is that developers are more focused on how much money they can get from a specific game rather than actually creating a full retail game. I mean, you're not paying for a full game. What you're paying for is an initial fee to gain access to more content. That's the whole point of games. It's not to sell a full experience. It's to sell you an experience which will then lead to more experiences that you'll have to pay for. And that's just something I don't agree with. I mean, surprisingly, can you believe that all of the Battlefront games before this new one actually, at this point in time, actually have more content than this game? I don't care how big your maps are. I really don't. The bigger your maps are, the more boring your matches are. I mean, at least with something like Call of Duty that has small contained matchups, the action keeps going and it's fast paced. I don't like this group, long scale, I have to travel 10 minutes just to get to the objective bullshit. That's not how I like to play my games. I like things small, contained, and fast moving, even though I'm not a big Call of Duty fan anymore. So, no, I didn't really like the Star Wars Battlefront, even though I didn't really play it much. At all, really. And your next last set of questions come from Logic Knows, and you want to know, did I like any of the Borderlands games? You know, I'm sorry, I'm not into Borderlands. I tried playing it once with my brother and a couple of his friends. I couldn't get into it, despite the fact that it was the type of game I should have enjoyed, but there's just something about it that rubs me the wrong way, so no, I can't say I'm a Borderlands fan. And the last question is, did I ever get to play Shadow of Mordor, and what did I think of it? No, I did not. Shadow of Mordor looked like a game I might want to play, but for whatever reason, I just never got to it, and then as the weeks and months went by, I just decided, you know, it's been too late, I won't bother playing it from this point on. And in fact, those are all the questions that you guys sent for me for this particular episode. I'd like to thank all of you guys for making this episode possible. If you like this video, feel free to like, comment down below, and please subscribe to track me my future videos and episodes of people's questions. And like always, thank you guys for watching. You're awesome, and I'll see you next time.